got you, Tomo.
Yeah, this another bad franchise up there. Here we
Hey,
go.
you ain't gonna get no complaints from me.
I know you wasn't. I got to bring you back to the dark side. There
Hey,
we
they
go.
best. They've known like name games is like other teams' best moments. The fumble, the
Yo,
drive, all against the Browns.
the mistake by the lake. That's what they call it up there.
Yeah, it's
But
messed up. Mistake about it late.
hey, it happens. It
The
happens.
Browns, right? Not Cleveland.
No, Cleveland. That's
Cleveland.
what it's called. The mistake by the lake. If it wasn't for LeBron coming back and winning the championship, I'm telling you.
Remember
a lot
Jakeem
of-
Nowhere? What's in Cleveland? I was like,
Yeah,
nobody said I want to go to Cleveland. I was like,
Cleveland
Yeah,
had
that's
nothing
not a
but Bone Thugs
vacation.
and Harmony at one point.
He was
that was
spot on with
messed up.
that
People
one.
actually
Oh,
from
yeah,
it. Boy,
Don't forget Ray Cash, bro.
Bone
Who?
Thugs and Harmony.
Ray Cash,
Who?
bumping my
Yeah, I know the
music.
one hit wonder
Oh,
has
Who?
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Ah,
Bone
y'all
Thugs? I
disrespect.
don't know.
yeah. Come on, man. People
Alright.
actually living from there, man.
They know it's bad. All right. Anyway, Shedeur, the Browns conclude their preseason game by playing. We'll say what all of their quarterbacks basically outside of Flacco
That's how
and
they Kenny
Shedeur.
Pickett too.
Hmm?
They ain't played Kenny either. Kenny was hurt the
I
whole
was
time.
about to
I
say he
mean,
was hurt.
it's Kenny. It's
Kenny should
Kenny.
have never been there in the first place.
Yeah, it's Kenny. It's Kenny. The only Kenny
He's
we
the
recognize.
Browns, bro.
Oh my God, they traded Kenny.
Again, it just keep happening.
Kenny should have never been there.
All right, we talking about Shedeur now. The Browns. Shedeur had one of his worst outings. Some would say in this final preseason game. He threw what is it? He completed 6
He was
passes for
3 of
14
6.
yards. Yeah, 3 passes for 14 yards. And the 19-17 preseason went over the Rams. A lot of people come out and had a lot to say about what happened to Shedeur in this game. I mean, the Kurt Warner tweet is out there. We also know what Uncle and Ocho have said about it. We've seen all the topics about it, but now you're here watching Refuse to Lose, and we're going to tell you, do we think Shedeur Sanders is being sabotaged? And it will only be right if we start with the Ravens fan. Carl, you said Shedeur should start.
You did.
A lot of people got a lot of questions about it. I know you said, I'm gonna let you explain it. You said Shedeur should start. I gotta learn my TV thing. Gotta lead the witness. You said Shedeur should start for the Browns after this game. Go.
Are you asking me, do I think Shedeur should start for the Browns after this game?
I see what you did there. You're not gonna do that. I asked you a question, but the question
I'm
is
trying to confirm the question that you're asking.
You stated that Shedeur Sanders should start for the Cleveland Browns.
Yes. Are you asking
Do you
me, do I
believe
still
that
think he should
Shedeur
still start?
Sanders is being? Do you believe that Shedeur Sanders is being sabotaged by the Cleveland Browns?
Sabotage, I won't say sabotaged because that's kind of crazy. But what I say is they're not giving him a fair shake. They're not, keeping his best interest at hand. They're not. I don't think this was really a competition from the jump. I think that Shedeur was fighting behind the 8 ball from the jump. No matter how well he played, he was not getting above Dylan Gabriel. I do believe in that. So the only thing he could control is what he can control was his performance on the field. But why did Tyler Huntley come in for Shedeur? Why didn't Shedeur play more, throw more passes? Gabriel had 19 passes. Flacco actually did play. He went 9 to 10. Why did Shedeur only drop back or throw 6 passes? Why didn't he get more drives? Why can't we? I mean, we seen him go from starting, and now it is. Why did he play with an O-line that had 4 players get cut the very next day? Why would you have Huntley in there and you know you were going to cut him? You instantly cut him. So it's just so many questions. But my answer to all these questions is it's the Browns. So no, I don't think it's being sabotaged. I just think it's a poor franchise being a poor franchise. And I have to say this as well because this is not the question. But I want people to know I did not say that Shedeur should start because of the first preseason game. I said that before preseason even started. I think I even said that before training camp started. I think that Shedeur should start because I think Shedeur is the better quarterback. I think he's the best quarterback in this draft. So that was my preference before all of this. Now, the first game had me on my high horse. Don't get me wrong. But I think Shedeur is very accurate. Does he hold on to the ball at times? Yes. I do need him to start throwing the ball away. When nothing's there, just throw it away. It's okay. But I think he's more accurate than Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel is more mobile than Shedeur. There's no question there. But I think he's a better quarterback than Dylan Gabriel. I think, if anything, if I'm not mad with Joe Flacco starting, even though I think Shedeur should start, I'm not mad at the Joe Flacco starting, but I think Shedeur should be second and Dylan Gabriel should be third. But I don't think the Browns are sabotaging them. But they're not. They're not playing this with his best interest at hand.
All
Shout
right,
out to
Mark,
Carl.
go.
I was a shout out to Carl and the Jada Kiss verse that he spit just now. Go ahead, Carl.
Well, I don't think they get, like you said, like I was gonna say about playing the last preseason game, they cutting for the last lineman. Cutting for the lineman that started with him. So I'm just like, no, they didn't give him a fair shake. But at the same time, I'm thinking that Dylan Gabriel, he was their top pick, their quarterback. So you don't want to like waste that type of pick. So they treated him as if he really is a, 5th, 6th round pick, which is crazy, but that's just the way the league works. Even if he do look better than him sometimes in preseason. I think the placement of picks matters. But the fact that they drafted him after they drafted Dylan Gabriel, well, that should have been, they should have let another team grab him. They shouldn't have even drafted him. That's what the thing is. So it's almost like maybe you thinking they saving his career, but like, because nobody's going to draft him, but maybe, doing this type of stuff, you're sabotaging him. Now, you're going to give him the opportunity to play with the starters. Or you see the game when he did play with, second string and, some first string. He shined. He looked real good when he played. Like, this looked like the Brown starter. Then you throw him in there with like, third and fourth string and people that's about to get cut. And he looked like, he shouldn't even be in the NFL. So it's just like, y'all setting him up. Y'all put this on TV. Y'all showing this to everybody right now. Like, I told you he wasn't ready. I told you this. So, I mean, like, should Shedeur being sabotaged? Yes. But, like, because they drafted him. They shouldn't have drafted him. Because of the placement, I understand why he's not playing as much. Because of where he got drafted at. And why they got to give Dylan Gabriel a higher shot than him. But they just, like, it's not the best move, The bad GM, bad everything over there. They got good players. I can't say bad GM. They just handle the situation so bad. They're terrible.
I get you. I want to say this before the next person goes. Wait, Dylan Gabriel was what, 4th, 3rd round pick?
I think it was second.
3rd, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't second. I know it wasn't second.
3rd.
I mean, to me, 3rd, 5th round pick, tomato, especially when Shedeur is not really a 5th round pick. Like, I get the whole politics of the NFL and draft picks, but like at some point, like, come on.
I mean, a 3rd is a high pick if you really think about it. A 3rd is a really.
I mean, if I understand that, but if you think about it, people hit in like the 5th and 6th round. I think it's more statistically hit in the 5th round more than the 3rd, if I remember correctly.
I don't know.
I mean, I got a franchise quarterback that got drafted in the 4th. So,
come on, that.
Yeah.
Why you bring him up?
What? I'm telling you, you can hit. You hit late. Pause.
Y'all ain't hit, but I'm sorry. My bad. That was I'm sorry. My bad.
That's surprising coming from Mark because Mark be trying to defend that.
Nah, I know why he did that. He had to. He was gonna get back. It's all good.
I was about to say that's kind of crazy right there.
Nah, it's all good.
That's how I feel about Shedeur. They is like they doing them dirty.
Joe, you want to go?
Yeah, I can go. I do not think he's getting sabotaged. You know what's going on? It's like that kid mom who at the basketball game or dad. My son ain't getting in the game. My son not getting a get, bruh. Let your son earn his time in the game. Chill. Be patient. That's what it sounds like. Now, am I for it? No, but this is why people didn't want to draft Shedeur. One of the reasons. Something don't go his way in everybody's mind, and then the whole media blows it up. He's being sabotaged? That's crazy. Y'all really think they are purpose? Mark said he's sabotaged. People really think they are purposely setting him up for failure. If they did, they would have cut him. They kept him on the roster. Why they keep him on the roster? To say that, oh, we believe in him. Now let's flip the roles. Let's say,
because I heard somebody who's saying I heard somebody say that's not my pick.
Hold on. Let's flip the roles. Let's put Dylan Gabriel where Shedeur Sanders got drafted, and let's put Shedeur where Dylan Gabriel got drafted, and let's put the same tape that we saw this preseason. Would y'all feel the same way if Shedeur, if the roles were different? We all feel the same way about Dylan Gabriel. How y'all feel about Shedeur? No,
they didn't do that.
Shedeur a higher chance. They would have if he would have got drafted that high, they would have gave him a
exactly.
No, I'm saying like if Dylan Gabriel put the same tape that Shedeur put on tape in the preseason, and Shedeur put the same tape that Dylan Gabriel put in the preseason, and they flipped their positions, nobody will be saying Shedeur don't deserve to start. Nobody will say everybody like he deserves to start based on what they know from college, not based on what we've seen since they've been in the NFL. So what y'all really think the two preseason games that Gabriel played, and then look, Carl, let me just something you said. Why did he only pass 6 times? Let me go over all his drives. The first drive, pass, run, sack. Second drive, pass, run, pass. Third drive, run, pass, sack, pass. Sack, sack, run. Run, sack, pass, pass. He dropped back. He just keep getting sacked because he holding the ball too long. That's the same issues he had in college. Now, do I think Shedeur Sanders overall might be better than Dylan Gabriel? Maybe right now. But who's more NFL polished? Maybe Dylan Gabriel. He plays better with the speed based on what I saw in the preseason. All right. Now, I don't think he's being sabotaged. Cause after the first preseason game, ain't nobody talk about, oh, he played with the backups. They not doing him fair. Cause he played well. We was like, look at him. He like that. And then we came over here, and then everybody was mad because he was on 4th depth chart still. And I said, y'all, let Dylan Gabriel get his opportunity as the Eagles, and then let's make a decision. Now, he did throw a pick 6. He did. But it's not about the stats. When you evaluate it, it's not about the stats. It's about evaluating every play, every decision. And Dylan Gabriel looked good. If y'all watched that, he did look good. Now, did not happen. So now it's like, okay, I get why they ain't changed depth chart. I get they kept it the same. Then we go to this game, and then it just separated. Dylan Gabriel still looked the same, and then Shedeur looked terrible. So,
can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
What was the variable that changed?
What are you talking about?
The variable that changed was Shedeur went from playing with the backups to playing with guys that's about to get cut. While Dylan Gabriel didn't play with the guys that's about to get cut, he just consistently played with the backups.
And then on top of that, you got to look at the beginning. They got 100 players on the roster in the beginning. They do their cuts after the third preseason game. So it's not like first and second and third. They got like 5th and 6th string that he playing with.
So explain to me how Tyler Huntley came in the last seconds and was drawing downfield to get a field goal when Shedeur Sanders couldn't get a first down.
You talking about the same Tyler Huntley that went 1 for 1 for 7 yards?
But he ran the ball for a lot for a first down. He kept moving
legs. Shedeur doesn't have legs, so you put him behind the old line.
Bro.
No, you put him behind a terrible old line. He doesn't make the same mobile plays. We understand that. That's not
he's the 4th string quarterback, bro. You expect him to play with the 2nd strings and 3rd strings?
But no, you're saying
playing with the 4th stringers.
Separated himself from Shedeur by playing with backups as opposed to the 4th string. When Shedeur played with backups, he had 2 touchdowns, 12 and 19. He looked great.
Carl
drops off. The variable that changes is the people around him change. Dylan Gabriel played with the consistent core. He played with the backups and backups.
He's the 2nd string.
I understand that, but you're saying that it was a separation. Yeah, a separation of the talent he's playing around. If
I get that,
play with the backups like he did the first game, who say he don't look better?
Carl, I get that, but this every team does this. If you're the 4th string,
but
you're going to play with the 4th string team. I mean, that's just how it is. Like, we can't just separate because it's Shedeur, bro. Like,
I'm not doing that. But
yeah, I think that's what we're doing right now because it's Shedeur Sanders. We think that he's not being put in a fair opportunity when he got drafted 4th.
We're explaining why he's literally explaining why he's doing that. Like, it's just he's explaining the whole situation. Like, he's not in a variable change. Dylan Gabriel played with the same core, and they're moving him around like just moving him around too much. So he's playing with the 4th string, 5th string.
The only reason why he played with the 2nd string because Dylan Gabriel was hurt.
I was just
he
about
was
to say
hurt
that.
and Kenny Pickett was hurt.
Exactly, and Flacco didn't play. But when we saw Shedeur be put in that situation, he shined. Now, obviously, when he's playing with a bunch of guys that's about to get cut, it's going to look worse. Now, if we'd have seen Dylan Gabriel look bad or look good, but if we'd have looked Dylan Gabriel look good with the core that Shedeur just played around with the guys that's about to get cut, and he looked good and Shedeur looked like this, you would have a point. Then it's like, okay, cool. They played with the same talent, and Dylan Gabriel actually looked better. That's the separation. But it's not the case. When Shedeur played with the same talent Dylan Gabriel played with, he had no picks, 2 touchdowns, and balled. And mind you, he did that against the Panthers' first-string defense.
Mm-hmm. All right, Carl. My thing is this. Because it's Shedeur Sanders, you said it's unfair. That's what they not put him in there. What do you say?
I said they're not playing. They're not having his best interest at hand.
What makes you think that?
Because they drafted him in the 5th round, Joe.
What? They didn't want to
that's
draft him very probably. They ended up drafting him based on when he got drafted. What did
pick in
Mark?
the,
Since he been drafted, what have they done wrong with Shedeur? Since he been drafted,
they came out and said you had somebody come out and say that's not even my pick.
No, I'm talking about the situations they put him in. Like, what do you
I understand
see?
what you're saying, but
What do you see in the situation they put him in that's saying sabotage or not
if you
best?
Got the owner saying that's not my pick. The owner saying, "Oh, you don't even got to play him like that. I don't even care for real." And then maybe there's somebody on the roster that believe in him. Like, we can't cut him. He's really good. But they're not giving him a chance. They don't want him to
I was
play.
on air when we all talked about when Shedeur got drafted, and I'm with y'all with that. I'm talking about since he's been drafted, how the preseason rolled out, the tape. How can we say that he's not put in he not being treated fair enough or whatever? Like, what other 4th-string quarterback is getting treated any differently than Shedeur Sanders?
I think Joe issue. I think Mark and Carl have two separate debates that you're arguing against, Joe. Because with Mark, he's the one that agrees with the sabotage, and I think that's the word that you're honed in on. You like he's not being sabotaged; he's just being treated like a 5th or 6th round pick.
Yes,
like he's being treated that way.
That's all I'm saying. I get it, Shedeur Sanders, and he's more valuable than a 5th, 4th round pick. I get that part, but based on where he got drafted, he's being treated like every other player that's been drafted. Now, everybody had these expectations of him just coming in there and taking the starting job. That's what everybody did, and it's not happening. And now it's like, oh, he's being sabotaged. Oh, it's not being. No, let the man just earn. Look, he came in, he got drafted when he got drafted. So let the man work his way up, and that's where I'm at with him. I'm like, bro, I'm not about to sit here and say they're not treating him right. He got drafted when he got drafted, and let that man prove everybody wrong. But it's going to take time. It just is.
I get that point, but my point is this: you seen what he did when he started. At least let him play some reps with those guys because you know he's more valuable than where you drafted him at. You know he has a potential to be a starter. Some of the guys that are 4th string, let's talk about situational differences. Guys that are 4th string aren't as talented as him. Aren't guys that could potentially be franchise guys. So yes, you can handle a situation different with Shedeur, who a lot of guys think can be a franchise guy or a starter. And I won't say a lot, but people think that can be a starter and franchise guy. You can be like, look, all right, last game of the season, we saw Dillon Gabriel what he did with this when he started. We saw Shedeur what he did when he started. Let's start Dillon Gabriel because he is above him on the depth chart. But we've seen the talent Shedeur has. Let us give him a couple drives with those guys and see how it looks.
That's the evaluation.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the part where it becomes. That's the fair shit.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Normally, 4th-string quarterback, they play with those guys. That is very true. But normally, 4th-string quarterbacks aren't as touted or as talented as a Shedeur.
See, that's the difference. You're still stuck on it's Shedeur. Well, I'm telling you,
no,
yes, you are, bro. Like you're saying, he's more talented than an average 4th rounder, which is true. And I agree with you, bro. But you're telling them to cut back Dillon Gabriel's opportunity. Well. This is what you're saying. Cut back Dillon Gabriel's opportunities with the second string, whatever, or for whoever play with him, and give Shedeur some. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah, right? Yeah, let's give him some time to see if it's really Dillon Gabriel.
But why would they do that when also Dillon Gabriel is a rookie?
Because of how well he played in the first preseason game. It's not just Shedeur Sanders. He played well in that first preseason game. Let's give him a couple drives with them to see how he looks again.
Have you ever seen anybody do that though?
No, but I've also never seen a guy. First of all, I've never seen a guy who's supposed to be a 1st-round pick drop to the 5th round because of his dad or because people think his dad might come in the NFL.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
So that's what my point is. We've seen a lot of stuff we haven't seen with Shedeur happen. I haven't seen a GM come out and say that's not my pick.
No, so that was the owner. The GM he said that was a GM pick.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. So yes, we're seeing a lot of stuff we haven't seen before when it comes to this. When it comes with Shedeur. So me asking for this, yes, is something we haven't seen before. But I have other things to show that we haven't seen this stuff before with Shedeur as well.
Right, and then I just think that the name and who he is, like it's so much attention on the situation, and we're trying to force the issue versus letting it happen naturally. Let the man come in here.
because
And then
he
he
got shot
played
though.
well, but
Who talking
he did not
about
have the best performance the whole like literally I seen Justin Dog had better performance than him. I seen Kenny Pickett had a better performance than him in
That's
preseason.
fine. He
My thing
also
is I
they
get it,
might
he
also have
looked
better rosters.
good. But the issue was not just the offensive line, yes. But he did not throw the ball away, Carl. That was the
I said
problem.
that.
But we can't just blame, oh, he played with the four stringers. Bro, his big issue was glaring in the last preseason game, which was throw the ball away. Throw the ball away. That could have been avoided. So I get
Understand.
it. He played with the four string on stuff, and based on how he played, he deserves to be where he at in the depth chart, no
So
matter who he playing with.
let me ask this question,
I
Joe. So
don't agree.
you're saying it wasn't a sabotage. The coach put him out there to see if he learned or he can learn from his mistakes or if he's improved on some of his mistakes. Because him playing with that bad offensive line and going off of what you're saying, Joe, and what I'm trying to equate here is if you know the offensive line is bad, let's see if you got rid of some of those bad habits that you had of holding on to the ball too long. Will you be able to throw it away? Will you be able to make the quick reads? Is that what you're getting at? Because
I don't think they purposely put him with them just for that. That's how I look
But
at it.
that's but I'm saying
If I go
evaluating
ahead.
him to evaluate him, you already know
Mhm.
his bad habits. So if you're not gonna put him out there with the team that you know he's gonna shine with, you got to throw him in a situation to see, okay, did he learn from something? That's the only way I can take it because I don't think he was sabotaged. I do think it's not a fair shake. I agree with Carl on that one. I don't think it's a sabotage. I think they really are trying to evaluate the two, but it's not fair if you're really trying to evaluate the two when you clearly seen him play good with the second string. So now you're going to take back some of those reps and give more to Dylan Gabriel when you seen what he did with that same second string. It's like you kind of got to balance it out a little bit if you actually going to do it this way. And also to bring in 16 more quarterbacks when you already got 3 or 4 on the roster,
Mhm.
that it just everything leads to the word. Like the way the Browns are handling it doesn't help the word of it being sabotaged. You brought in more quarterbacks. You made them go out there with O line that you know is going to get cut. You did all of these things when technically it could have been an evaluation, but everything around it just screams you don't want him to win.
See,
And I just want to
see,
say this real quick, Joe. I get what you trying to say. Like you trying to say that we're saying this because Shedeur in his name, and I say that's a little bit true, but mainly it's because one, he played so well. Two, yes, he was fourth on the depth chart, but Kenny Pickett didn't even play all preseason, so technically he's
mhm.
third. So that means he's technically Dylan Gabriel's backup. So then that kind of justifies him seeing if you can do, if not, I mean, the same, if not better, with the same unit that Dylan Gabriel has, because again, technically he's his backup. I think they knew they was trading Kenny Pickett because the trade happened like that. It's
that
just
was
things like that.
that wasn't even the same situation with our situation. We had John Johnson and
Josh,
Sam Hartman, and
Josh
that one
Johnson.
time they rolled with the same crew. John Johnson rode with his crew, and so did Sam Hartman, and that's just
But
how it worked.
Josh
So
Johnson is a journeyman quarterback, and
no,
Sam
I'm just
Hartman
giving
was like what
I'm
a
just giving you an
fifth,
example.
sixth
See,
round
this is
pick.
a rare situation we never seen before. Obviously, I'm with y'all. They did not want to draft Shedeur. I still believe the ownership. I think he lying. Ownership stepped in and say, "I need to draft Shedeur." That's the only thing that makes sense. Why would they draft Shedeur after drafting Dylan Gabriel? That's
Hold on.
number one.
I just wanted to be known on the record. Ownership didn't want him.
That's what he said. I just told you. I think he lying. Tell you straight
I
up.
don't think
He
he
said
lying.
Joe said he think he lying.
I,
I don't think he lying.
why? No, first of all, when they drafted Shedeur, they didn't look happy. Let's start there. They both Savansky or the
They
GM
it
did not
did.
look happy. Number
Who?
one,
Who?
I
the
can't remember
Browns.
who. I
When
think
they
Andrew
drafted
Berry
Shedeur, bro,
told
they
us
did not
I'm
look
that.
talking about the
happy at
GM.
all.
So I gotta go back and see it.
And the coach.
If the GM didn't look happy, then okay, I think they're on the line because he flat out said that that was the GM's pick.
I remember he came out and
Yeah,
said it's a GM.
that
The
room
GM
didn't
makes
look
it
happy.
because what the owner trying to do, Stefanski makes the calls on the field, and the GM makes the calls. Like, and he trying to say like, I'm not going to step in. Which, come on, bro. Like, I'm calling your bluff. I think you stepped in. And I even said when Shedeur does good, guess who's going to take all the credit? The owner going to take all the credit. I promise you, yes. But they clearly did not want to draft him. So, for example, I draft Carl. I already got Tomo as my starting quarterback, and then I signed Mark. And then they like, you better draft David. I'm like, all right, man. I draft David. David fourth on the depth chart. Now David might be talented, right?
Why I gotta be Flacco?
Cause you starting.
All right.
I be Flacco. I be a
No,
Super
I'm
Bowl
joking. Go
MVP,
ahead. Go
Super
ahead.
Bowl winner.
You
I,
starting.
I'm talking about
So
with the
Ravens.
Tomo is a
Browns. We ain't
starter,
talking
no
about
matter what.
Ravens.
Tomo the starter. Tomo is a starter. But Carl is going to get majority of the no. Mark is second. but Marcus been hurt. So Carl is going to get a lot of the preseason action. But then Carl got hurt, so we're going to throw Dave in. Dave played well. Okay, cool. He played well. Then we throw Carl in the next game. Carl played well too. Like we talking about, Carl played well. Okay, cool. He threw a pick 6. But Carl was throwing some accurate passes. He was on time. He was good. So now it's the last game. Carl was still new. Carl was my real focus. I really wanted to draft Carl. I didn't want to draft Dave. So, but I'm gonna treat Dave as what he is, which is a 4th string, 3rd string, because Kenny Pickett not here. And that's what I did. I'm not gonna take away from Carl because he earned his way. How about this? If he's that good, he would look good with this too. Let me play my man Carl because I actually believe in Carl. I'm gonna let Carl do his thing, and because I drafted Carl, but you saying Sabbath, you're saying unfair.
I didn't say Sabbath. I was about to say.
You said unfair. That is not. I
ain't say unfair. I just said I don't think they have his best interest at hand, which is kind of what you're explaining. You're explaining that you're going with the guy you believe in over the guy you like. Man, damn, I got to draft him. It's kind of the same thing of what I'm saying.
You could have gave him somebody else.
No, I feel you with that, but I'm talking about how they handle in the preseason. I don't disagree how they handle it. That's all I've been saying the whole time. I agree that they didn't want to draft Shedeur. I said all that. I said from the time the preseason started, I agree on how they handle everything. That's what I've been saying from the start.
And I just we can agree to disagree. I just don't. And your scenario kind of is of what I'm saying. Like,
no, I get what you're saying overall, but I'm talking about how they handle him. I don't see. Oh, they are not being fair with him. I don't see that at all. I see them treating him as a 4th round pick.
Huh? I said that earlier. I said I understand the draft positions, why they got to play Dylan Gabriel the way they got to play him. I said I understand the draft positions. Like, I get it.
You said sabotage, though, Mark.
I believe he was sabotaging. Like, they shouldn't have drafted him, Joe. Like we said, we've never seen this. He was the first.
You think they purposely drafted them to sabotage him?
I think okay. So let me frame this. I think this is a better question for Mark. Hold on.
That's kind of what they wanted to do with the draft. If we're being honest.
He got like a trademark clause in his name, so they can't make all the money off his name. He got to make some of it too. He the only player that came in with that type of stuff on his contract. Like it's a lot of things.
He can't put that behind nobody, but I don't think that's going on. I don't think
it's coming out that they colluded.
No. Anything, look, anybody's capable of anything, but I don't think we're going to draft them to teach them a lesson and sabotage them. I don't think that's the case.
I don't know. I think it's just let the draft them.
I think we asked this question. Is the NFL trying to sabotage Shedeur? Then Mark, I agree with you.
Yeah, I think so.
My question in the beginning was the Browns. I don't think the Browns are. I think the NFL is finding ways to collude through the Browns of sabotaging them. They don't do anything to make him look bad. And this goes back to what Joe was saying. It's only because of his name that we're having these conversations.
I just want the record. I get you, Tomo. I just want the record to say it's not just because of his name. It's because, to me, how he played in that first preseason game. Why I would like to see him and Dylan Gabriel play with the. I said Dylan Gabriel play with the same unit.
I receive your point. I'm saying more so it's his name because what the NFL is trying to do. Like, they're pointing it out with games. They're making it a topic on shows to say, look at how Shedeur is playing. Look at what's happening to Shedeur. It's kind of like it's almost Cowboy-esque. They're finding ways to talk about him when you wouldn't do this in any other situation. You would just say, oh, Shedeur had a good game. You would have just Jackson Dart been balling out. They'll say one thing about Jackson Dart and then move on to the next topic. Shedeur's been talked about on almost every show.
When Kenny Pickett got traded, the first thing they said, what does this mean for Shedeur?
I understand that.
Dylan Gabriel the second QB on the roster. So like when Dylan Gabriel played, nobody really talked about it. So like it's like, bro, I'm rooting for Shedeur, but I think people are pushing it. It's like, yo, chill. Stop thinking like this is why they gonna say this is why we ain't want to draft it, because everything that don't look right to you, they gonna blow it up. Oh my gosh. When they said sabotage, I'm like, y'all doing too much.
That's why I ain't want to use that word.
Yeah, relax, y'all. Like, I get it. He looked good in the preseason. I get it. So they Kenny Pickett. Shout out to Kenny Pickett, right? He was like a super. Remember Kenny Pickett?
Oh, you the Steelers. Okay.
Oh my God.
I got you.
Remember that? Yeah, they scored on every first drive in the preseason.
I remember the mom wouldn't shut up about it. You keep scoring on the first drive. But my brother, it don't matter. He's like, you just hating. And it didn't matter.
You know, he was looking sweet. But my whole thing is, Shedeur gonna be fine. The way he's actually being more mature than the fans. He's handling it so well, and I love it. I think he's gonna get his opportunity, and he will shine. But let him do it the right way. Let's not push him in that. Like he was a fourth round pick. Okay, I'm a fourth round pick. All right, I'm gonna work my way up and let him do that. Fifth round.
I
Okay,
hope he's
do
shining
better.
and leave. I hope he's shining and leave. So, but McVay, make the call,
Obviously,
man.
he's in the AFC North.
Yeah,
You know,
please.
Oh,
please,
not even
Oh, that would be
McVay,
nice.
make the call.
That would
please
be
who?
make the
Green
call.
Bay?
no
McVay.
McVay,
Rams.
LA.
Oh yes, that would be
Please
nice.
make the call.
That would be
That would
amazing.
be nice.
But they kept saying they're not going to trade none of their quarterbacks, and I don't know where they trade Kenny Pickett. They was yelling, "We not trading none of our quarterbacks."
I think they knew they was doing that.
No, I think they called. No, the Raiders called for Kenny Pickett. They called for Kenny Pickett
They
because
probably
Griffin
did.
got hurt.
Yeah,
The
Andy
Browns
got
said they
hurt.
wasn't trading none of their quarterbacks.
Yeah, I know. And then they all got offered a draft pick. They
on,
said,
bro.
"All right, you take Kenny Pickett." And Kenny
But
Pickett
it
Do
just
hurt.
you believe?
But
Do
it
you
just felt like
believe?
Kenny Pickett shouldn't have been there from the jump anyway. I
Bro,
think I even said that when they
signed
traded for
Kenny
him.
Pickett before they got to the draft.
No, I understand that, but I feel like they still he just shouldn't have been there.
Bro, he's a serviceable backup quarter QB. You know. But
Sorry,
yeah.
so who?
They got Flacco. He old dirt. He old as dirt, bro. He might
Hey,
get hurt.
Preach to the
hey,
choir.
hold
That's my
on. This is
dog,
why I
though.
said I didn't want to be Flacco.
Hey, shout out my dog though. I had the Flacco.
This whole
jersey.
time, Joe, Dave was saying if you're gonna treat me like
My
Shedeur,
guy, you in the doghouse.
Yeah, this throw the ball away, Dave.
yeah, nah, I think that was good. That was sabotaging them though, or finding ways to do it.
I see what y'all saying though. Like, bro, like I'm literally with y'all. I feel like what y'all saying. Tom. I think we had two different conversations. I'm saying the preseason process
No, I
doesn't
get
look
what
like
you're
it's being
saying.
sabotaged.
I get what you're
That's all
saying.
I'm
But
saying.
all I'm
But I
saying is,
agree that they didn't want to drive them. I
yeah, I
think
get
the
what you're
owner
saying too.
stepped in,
I
bro.
think sometimes, like I get there's a process, but sometimes you have to, depending on the situation, change the process. And I feel like this was one of the times they
Yeah,
could have changed the process and let's actually really evaluate the two.
Because you probably
Then-
could have got a higher draft. I mean, you could have got somebody nice for Shedeur if you actually would have, or even the third round pick you traded Gillen Gabriel for. Like, what if somebody would have wanted him? All these quarterbacks ain't that, hitting. So then you got risk of injury. Some of these quarterbacks getting old.
yeah.
So
And
I
the
mean,
next
like,
best quarterback, shake up the league.
yeah. So I mean, they ain't doing them right.
Yeah, you gotta get drafted to a place where they believe in you. Then you can change.